morning, Mustangs. Welcome back to the podcast, Career Talk with the CIA. I'm your host, Philip.
We're your co-hosts. I'm Kylie. I'm Lucy.
Hope you're having a good day so far. We're here today with a special guest joining us, Susana Arvizu with the State Farm Insurance. She is our sponsor for Coffee and Donuts, and she'll be joining us on the podcast. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So it's good to have you here, and it's good to do this video with the sponsor and all that. So go ahead and introduce yourself and your business.
So my name is Susana Arvizu. I actually live in Hobbs, but my State Farm office is in Lovington. We opened in October of 2021, so we are going strong there. And we're excited to be here. We're honored to have the opportunity to be able to sponsor the event you had this morning. So yeah, we're excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So do you like the coffee and donuts a little?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm a coffee drinker. So this morning, actually, on my way out of the house, my boyfriend was like, "Hey, do you want me to make you your coffee?" And I was like, "Nope, I got it today." I'm going to USW to have it with donuts. Yeah.
Well, that's good. You had a fun time. Yeah. So you said you're from Hobbs, right? Born and raised?
Yeah. No, actually, I was born in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and raised there. And I went to NMSU, so I'm an Aggie. But I'm still happy to be here, and I'm happy to sponsor and support the Mustangs. But yeah, so I live in Hobbs. Just my office is in Lovington.
Oh, okay. So, what made you get into the insurance business?
Insurance business. So I actually worked I was in the financial banking world for a long time. I want to say right out of college. That's when I worked in the food industry during college, serving and all that. And then I went straight into working for Wells Fargo. And I was there for about 6 years, and I loved it. I thought that I was going to, make my career out of my career there. Eventually I got licenses for retirement planning and investment planning. And I just wanted to move into something a little bit to help people a little bit further rather than just their everyday checking and savings. So after that, I went into the investment world, and it was a rough world. It was very cutthroat. You really have to love it and have the type of personality to do that. In that process, to be able to do that, I also had to get my insurance licenses. And even though I never sold insurance, it would just be to be able to refer my clients out. And so once I left the investment world back in 2018, it was the end of 2018, one of the local State Farm agents here in Hobbs reached out to me, and I reached out to him to ask him about the State Farm opportunity, what it would take for me to open up an agency. And he was like, "You know what, I'll mentor you." He had just opened his in 2017 here in Hobbs. So he was like, you have everything you need to go ahead and open one. But he's like, during the process, they don't teach you the actual insurance world or what insurance means. There's no education on insurance. They just pretty much teach you the management side of it. And since I had never really sold insurance in my life, I was like, okay, then he asked me for 2 years. He's like, work for me for 2 years. I'll teach you the basics, and then I'll teach you the management side of it. And so, I committed to 2 years to him. And 2018, I started in December of 2018. At the end of 2019, I was like, oh, I got this. I'm ready. And then he was like, no, hold on, just one more year. And I'm glad that I waited. So 2020, I was ready towards the end of the year. And I started the process to go into the State Farm internship program in the beginning of 2021. And I opened in October of 2021.
Wow. You said you're in the investment business?
Yes. So I also I have licenses for retirement planning and investment planning.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of everything. We do mostly insurance. Most people don't think I'm going to go to State Farm to go, talk about my 401k or to go take them my 401k. But we do. State Farm does also do that. It's one of the newer things and newer services that they offer. They do alliances with a bunch of other organizations too, with Jackson Annuities. And so it's not just insurance. There's really a little bit of everything there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So with me being 20, about to turn 21, should I be looking into 401k?
If you are working for a company that offers retirement, yes, always. You're never too young for it, really. And actually, the sooner and the younger you start, the better, because, usually, when you're younger, you don't really have a lot of the bigger liabilities or the family, a lot of those other expenses that later on in life you will have. So the younger you start is it's better. And then especially whenever the company you work for matches you, it's just free money on the table pretty much. So after a certain amount, usually it's after about a year that you've been with the company, they start matching what you put in. So you're just pretty much getting free money for your retirement later on in the years.
Wow, I might need to move to State Farm. I really trust you now. You have any questions, Connor?
I do. What would you say is the most rewarding about being an insurance agent?
Honestly, the most rewarding is going to be the freedom that I have. Not just the financial freedom, but more than anything, the freedom, the time with my family. My mentor, going into State Farm, the agent that I worked for, he really instilled the investing in your team and creating a really, really good team. That way you can, I have kids. I have a 10-year-old and my boyfriend also has a 10-year-old. So, we're involved in their sports, involved in their school stuff. So the most rewarding thing has really been being able to go and be there for their assemblies, for their award, whenever they have all that stuff going on, parent-teacher conference, and even like time off, like being able to enjoy their Christmas break and their summer breaks with them. Whereas in a lot of in the corporate, I call it the corporate world because, I work in the banking industry, and it's very like, you can't take time off or life happens and you can't just call in because you'll lose your job. Whereas now I don't have to really worry about that. So I like that. Mm-hmm.
Kylie, any questions?
So could you tell us about career opportunities with State Farm?
Yes, absolutely. So once again, the route that I took, I worked for an agent and he mentored me, and it's called the Aspirant Program. That's what State Farm calls it. So you work under an agent, you join the Aspirant Program, and pretty much that puts you on the radar for State Farm corporate, at the corporate level, for them to be like looking at you and your performance, your sales, your management strategies, how you get the opportunity to run the office. And actually one of my team members that's here today, Paloma, she's my aspirant. So I was an aspirant for my mentor, and that's what I want to do. That's how I run my office too. Like I can't expect for my staff to be with me forever. And so my goal is to build them up so that way, they're an aspirant in the program while they work for me, and then get them into the internship with State Farm. And the internship with State Farm is about 6 months. That's where the team member is no longer working for the agent. They work directly for State Farm, and that's where they teach you like all the back end stuff, the management reports, stuff like that. And then they go in and open up their own agency. So it's pretty. I did it in 2 years, and as long as you have all your licenses, because that is a requirement. You have to have like your insurance licenses and the retirement planning and investment licenses. Those are a little bit tougher, but still not impossible. And it's such a rewarding career. I love it. And every single agent that I talked to while I was going through it, like, I had some of the same questions, like, well, which route did you go? Because back in the day, you could inherit it from if your parents were agents, whereas now you kind of have to go through the program. And but everybody that I asked, their feedback their answer has been, and mine is also, I wish I could have done it sooner.
Well, that's a hard-working journey right there.
It takes hard work, but everything, good things come, and you have to work for it. Yeah.
Well, when did you start your internship again?
I started the actual internship in 2021, in May.
In May?
Yeah, May of 2021, and I opened in October of 2021. But I was an aspirant working under my mentor for 2 years.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
So how was like the transition from going internship to starting your own business?
Oh, that was quite, like, it was real. That was like feet on the ground, real life. And then so I started. A lot of agents are very adamant about having a fully licensed team already. Like, we won't hire you unless, they won't hire people unless they already have their licenses. Where I took a different approach. I believe in building people up. I believe in you can teach somebody, especially, I have like I don't want to say preference, but you've heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like whenever somebody comes in fresh, that they've never done it, it's something new to them. So they're going to be, more motivated to learn it. And not only that, but you can kind of teach them how you want it, how you want things done. So I took a chance with my team. I hired on the three people that when I opened, I started off with 3. None of them had ever done insurance before. and none of them, of course, were licensed. So I decided to go ahead and just take the risk and, teach them as we went. One, it took a couple of months to get licensed. Another one, it took 6 months. Another one, it took a little bit longer. So I was really the one doing a lot of the work. They were just kind of helping me do the office stuff, bringing in customers, taking customer information down. And I was the one actually doing like the quoting, the selling and all that. So the first, I want to say 6 months were very hands-on. I had to be there every single day until I finally got all of them licensed and, to the point where the office runs itself. And that's when I started kind of like reaping and enjoying that freedom that I was talking about earlier.
That's pretty impressive though. From starting an internship in May 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starting your own business in October.
Mm-hmm.
That's real impressive.
Yeah, and really, while I was working under that other agent that was my mentor, like I mentioned, when I think it was towards the end of 2019, early 2020, I was like, oh, I'm ready for this. Like, I don't have to give you another year of my time. Like, I'm ready to go and open one. And he was like, no, hold on. And, I jumped the gun and I started, kind of doing it on my own, looking into starting the internship program with State Farm. But everything happens for a reason. And I'm a big believer that everything happens on God's time. So I at that time, because State Farm was still like, well, no, hold on, we're not ready for you. I started looking at other options. And I looked at like independent agencies. I didn't look like at Farmers or Allstate, which are, big competitors. But I did look at like going independent to where you open up your own and you can sell whatever insurance you want. And it was tough because it's all on you at that point. And with State Farm, they offer you so much. They invest in you so much as an agent. They're taking a chance on you too. So the support is there. And then, of course, the brand. It's already, everybody knows Jake from State Farm. Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes. They're so smart in their advertising that I really just have to focus on doing local and community things, which is one of my passions. So it's not work. Yeah.
That's one thing I want to know. How is it working with Jake from State Farm?
Oh, that's cool. I actually got to meet him. State Farm had their 100th birthday in 2022, in June of 2022. And they had this huge convention. And that's another thing. They are big on family too. So every 4 years they have a convention and for you and your family to go out to. They're focused on not just the age and kids, everything. And so we got to go out there. It was in Las Vegas in 2022. And I got to meet Jake. Super cool. I was like, I stood in line forever. And I got to meet Jake. Patrick Mahomes was there, Aaron Rodgers, and Chris Paul, which are all like, ones that do the commercials and stuff. I was hoping for Drake, but he wasn't there. He didn't go. But they're super smart in their marketing. So that's exactly what they did. They used Jake, and he's one of our big, he's really popular with us too. We take our cutout everywhere. People want to take selfies. And then our office was actually one of the first first Instagram accounts that he followed. And Jake from State Farm likes our posts. So we like to give ourselves props for that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes, that's one thing I like about State Farm is like the way y'all market, advertise.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It is. Let's say right now, I think my family has Progressive.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when I was younger, I always see like Flow on TV and all that.
Yeah, you're right. With kids, it's like I said earlier, we stay a lot. We stay very involved in the community, and for the parades, like the holiday parades, the Veterans Parade, and stuff like that, we always take Jake with us, and that's all we'll hear. Like as we're going down the street, and it's usually kids like, "Oh, there's Jake." They'll be pointing, "Oh, there's Jake from State Farm," and we're right in downtown in Lovington, so whenever we do get foot traffic in summers, you'll see a lot of the kids skateboarding and whatnot. They'll stop and take a picture with Jake. So he's like, we love Jake. He keeps us in business.
Yeah, I made sure to take a picture of Jake.
Yeah, take your selfie with him.
So I kind of got a fun question. So when you started interning with State Farm, is that like to require like proper attire, like khakis and a red shirt?
So, you know what? I should have worn my khakis and my red shirt, my red polo today. It's not required, but it is always fun. And then I'm really good friends with the other agents in town that are, the competitors with Farmers or Allstate. And so we always joke around, and I have especially the Farmers one. Whenever I go into her office or whatever, she'll be like, and you better not come in here with your red polo. So it's kind of like a thing you have to do. You go in there with your khakis and red polo. So it's fun.
I remember that one commercial was like, "What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?" That's like the main commercial.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually recreated that commercial. It is so cool. If you guys go to it's on our Instagram and Facebook, but it's easier to find it on the Instagram. If you go to Susana Arvizu State Farm on Instagram, maybe we did about 2 years ago. We recreated the commercial, and it's pretty cool. It's funny, of course, but you guys check it out.
So Jose, we gotta put a link in bio.
Yeah.
I'm definitely be watching that.
Yes, it's super cool. It's funny.
But do you have any questions for Susana?
So what are some big challenges of being an insurance agent?
Big challenges is honestly going to be the pricing. We don't have control over the pricing. We just pretty much sell the product, right? We just represent State Farm and selling it. And right now, it's one of the biggest challenges I think that the insurance industry is facing, not just State Farm, with the rate of inflation. And then I'm not sure if you guys already drive and whatnot, or if you had a claim, the amount of time that it takes for shop to service your claims or to repair your vehicles is at minimum 2 months out.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's hard after COVID, it's a lot harder to get parts in. Parts are a lot more expensive, and labor has just gone up. So the cost of insurance has gone up. So everybody's kind of freaking out right now. And then,
Don't tell me that.
Did you have a claim? Did you just go in an accident?
Back 2 weeks ago, I got hit in an accident.
Oh, it wasn't your fault? Then you don't have anything to worry about other than having to wait for your vehicle to get fixed.
I didn't get a picture of the license plate.
Well, as long as you had an insured motorist, you'll be fine. Do you have an insured motorist?
I do.
Oh, I think you're good. Yeah, that's why it's important to carry it, because then that way it doesn't count against you.
So I think from what my parents told me is that my price is going to go up now with my insurance.
It could. Well, normally with those types of claims, it shouldn't, because it wasn't your fault. But the rates will increase regardless in New Mexico. Yeah, there was like I think it was like a 20% increase that the state declared. It wasn't even insurance company related. It was the state. And it's just because of the rate of inflation. It's gone up.
I'm actually from Texas.
Oh, so your policy's in Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Texas is more expensive than New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Tell me that.
Not right now? Oh, sorry. My team member over there's telling me that not right now. She's had Yeah, okay. So you should be good.
You.
Yeah. But as long as it was I always tell people, as long as it wasn't your fault, you have a pretty good chance of still being a good rated customer.
That's it. It wasn't my fault. It was unlucky.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's pretty shocking to when now that I'm in the insurance industry and whatnot, I get the facts and whatnot that come in from the state. In New Mexico, about 25% in our area, in Lee County, about 25% of drivers out here are uninsured. Oh. That's crazy. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why he left.
So make sure at least you have it. Yeah.
Do you have any advice on how to know which career path you want to take?
Ooh. So when I started college, I was set on being an architect or civil engineer. That's where I started. That's what I wanted to do. And I actually did the early college. Started during high school. And I'm glad I did, because then it wasn't on my pocket. And I honestly, I did that. And then I was I did 1 year and I was oh, this is not for me. That is not the life I want. And then I was I actually went to MSU for speech pathology, but I wanted to work in the schools. I wanted to help kids. And then I did my student teaching there. And I was oh no, that is not what I want to do either. It's hard. It's hard being with other people's little ones. And then once again, I went into the workforce and banking, and that's when I was okay, I like numbers, I like the math. I was always really good at math, so I was I like this. And then it was good until I was okay, I'm ready for more. And I would have never in my life thought that I was gonna end up doing insurance, and I love it. I would say the biggest the reason why I love it is because of my passion. My passion is helping others. Public service. I like, whether it's in the community or even at work, whenever I get a customer that, or a potential customer that comes in and just asks questions, your retirement question, you'd be surprised how many people, and not just young people that are about to retire and they received a statement and they're oh, I have this savings account. Can I get this money out? And I'm no, that's not how it works. But the lack of education out there on a lot of people just purchase insurance because it's law. You have to, but they don't understand how it works. They don't understand what happens if somebody hits me and it's a hit and run. So the education part of it, I love being able to, offer that. So I would say just finding what your passion is and then doing a career around that. And I promise you, you will never feel like you're working because you're actually doing something that you like. Yeah.
I like you a lot. I'm gonna have to call my parents. I'm switching it. To State Farm.
Yes.
Right. Actually, I got a question. If I switch to State Farm right now, could you give me a pair of khakis?
You know what's crazy? I actually have a whole Jake outfit at the office, and I considered bringing it and doing it as a giveaway. But I do have a whole, like the polo and the State Farm provided, but I have a whole outfit there.
See, that's what I told Ryan. I'm like, man, I should wear my khaki polo today. Like, It was the perfect opportunity, and I just missed it.
And since you like being in front of the camera, maybe we can do a whole remake of the whole commercial again.
Wow.
I have everything ready at the office. You can buy and see us.
Give me your business card. Stay in touch.
Yes, we're always there, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
All right, so what's a fun fact about yourself? It can be anything.
Fun fact about myself. I'm a little bit of a do-it-all kind of person. Like, I won't shy down from a challenge. I used to be a truck driver. Also, that was another one of my career things. I had a CDL and drove a semi. Weird, right? I hated it. I went through like my first inspection, and I was pregnant at that time. That's when I was pregnant with my son, and I went through my first inspection, and there was all kinds of violations that I didn't know about. And I think the state cop was like, oh, like I was like full blown pregnant, and he was like, okay, let's cut her a chance. And I learned a lot. And that was the last time I got on a truck. After that trip, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I had a CDL. And then I also played guitar. I played in a mariachi band all of my high school and college. So, yeah, that's kind of like a little cool fun fact about me that not a lot of people know.
You still play the guitar?
No. Well, I mean, I can play like the songs that I used to play, but I'm not like a pro guitar player. I miss it, though. I love it. I love it, and I miss it. Every time that like I'll hear mariachi music or see a mariachi play, I reminisce, and I'm like, oh, I need to get back on it. But maybe one day.
Yes, I'm having a graduation party. Man, I was looking for a band.
Yeah, and then there's something, and you know what? I've even thought of that. I was like, what if I just started one? Like, get people that already know how to play the instrument. I have the music, so I was like, why not? Because there's only one in Lee County, and they're high demand, and so I was like, that's another business opportunity.
Little side job.
My mind's always going with like opportunity. Once you like start one business, you want to. What's the next one? Yeah, what's the next one? What's the next one? So yeah.
Can a trombone be in a mariachi band?
We can make it a banda.
So I got my trombone back at home. I'll be happy to be part of it.
Yes, we'll make it work. Yeah.
Got any questions for Susana anymore?
I don't. If you could give one piece of advice to students about anything, what would it be?
Oh, this is a hard one. Oh, you put me on the spot. Now I don't know what to say. To students, honestly, is enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. I feel like we live in a time now where everything is just so rushed, and we want to have it figured out. If it not today, by tomorrow. Like, we put a deadline on ourselves, and there's so much pressure. Don't be scared to try different things till you find what you like, and take your time. Like, there's really no rush. Because there's, I have friends, and sad to say, but like I have friends that, we went to college and everything, graduated with a certain degree, and they hate their jobs. Like, sounds horrible, but like they're miserable. And all because, they thought that this is, and as humans, our interests change as we go. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor. Then I wanted to be an astronaut. Then I was so set on, I went to a magnet school for engineering. And that's why I was like, oh, this is what I want to do, until I actually went to classes for it in college. And I was like, oh, there's no way. So like, don't be scared, and change is difficult, but it's good. At the end of the day, it's always good.
That's the point. They changed my major 4 times.
All right. Yeah, exactly. See, and a lot of people, like, I remember when I was in college, like, oh, you already changed that many times, and it's kind of like a negative thing, but no, like, why? Like, you're talking about the rest of your life, and you want to enjoy what you're doing for the rest of your life, not just do it because it makes a paycheck.
Yeah, because I started, I want to be a chiropractor, and I went to actually finance. I want to be a financial advisor for Edward Jones.
Okay, that's what I did. I was with Edward Jones there.
Are you?
Yeah, in 28.
That's what my stepmom does.
Oh, really? Where at? In Vic Spring?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, cool. See, it's cool, right? It's also rewarding, but you have to really love it.
Yeah,
I didn't love it.
She really loves it. So.
Yeah, I didn't. My best friend does, though.
See, I really like the idea. Then I took one finance class. I'm like, yeah.
No.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to go to the State Farm business.
Yeah. Well, if you, I'll be happy to mentor you. Yeah, to have you on the team. And the cool thing about it is too, it's like if you can do while you're like school wise, right? Because I'm also big on that. I'm big on education. So one of my two of my team members right now are students, so I work with their schedule, and you know, I try to get as much as I can from them and give them as much as I can from me too. But the cool thing about it is, like, even if you did it here and you don't want to stay here and you would just get the experience in town and you want to open in Phoenix or anywhere else, like State Farm's everywhere. So if that is the career path you want to follow, you don't have to stay wherever you learn your basics.
Yeah. That's great to hear.
Yeah. But we do want you to stay in Lee County. I'm big on Lee County. I love my community. So I'm like, you guys need to stay here. Whatever you do end up doing, I'm pretty sure you know this, but we lack a lot of like psychology here and like mental health. So I want you guys to stay here.
I mean, I'm convinced. So.
Wait,
Yeah.
does she know that you're psychology majors?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she just guessed. I'm like, oh, that's impressive. I'm like, guess mine.
You said State Farm agent.
Huh?
Oh, you said State Farm agent.
I don't know.
Yeah. So what is your major now?
Business management.
Okay, so see, that's still good. Yeah.
So
It falls in there.
She's like, we could work with that.
Yeah, it falls in there. It'll come in handy. Yeah.
So I was doing sports management, but I went to business management just because pretty much it's like the kind of the same thing. So I want to be a golf coach. for
Okay.
College level.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work out, I'm coming to State Farm. So I start buying my khakis.
Yeah, it is. And you can wear it to the field too when you're golfing. Yeah. A lot of Asians golf. It's the thing. Yeah.
I'll fit in. Perfect.
Yeah.
What? Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I don't have anything else unless you guys do.
I don't.
All right, Susana, thank you for joining our podcast. Thank you for sponsoring Coffee and Donuts. It was great to see you and Jake. I
My
will be
pleasure.
taking Jake to my room.
My pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having us and for giving us the opportunity to share and asking questions and everything. And I'm always a call away if you guys ever need, even a text, because I know that's a thing. I even prefer to text, but yeah, you can always text us too and we'll get the message.
Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Like always, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, Jake. Jose, is the cameras going right now, like live? Be careful. So this can go on the blooper reel. I forgot. Hey, it's a surfboard.
Can you hear me?
Jose, I'm nervous. Thank you, brother.
Hear that when you have to edit this. I apologize.
What?
Oh.
Oh, I did loads of sports.
Younger, I thought an ironing board was like a surfboard. Yeah, these are just my coworkers right here. I'm kidding. They are my best friends too.
I hit you with a
I will start crying.
I gotta fix my hair now.
Oh my god. Make sure you get
Watching Mustangs. Tune in for the next podcast. Peace.